we had multiple conversations, but I'm like, we haven't even done the things that we're supposed to be doing right now well yet. We're not there yet.
Welcome to the Best Hour of Their Day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
As both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better
boxes.
Welcome to
The best hour of your day.
Randy and Chausse, the Lauers, 346 Grit.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
It's outside of Portland, right?
Yeah.
It's
not actually
14 miles
Portland.
outside of Portland, but we say Portland because no one knows where Gresham is.
The mayor of Gresham.
Mayor Troutdale.
Troutdale.
Mayor what?
Of Troutdale.
Troutdale.
Which is next door to Gresham.
It's a made-up city.
It's a made-up town.
Yeah.
It's part of my SimCity account that I've had since middle school.
So,
Sorry.
on that note, we do refer to you as the mayor. You've been with us for ever.
3 years.
This month, 3 years.
Actually, yeah. In just like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. You guys-
Actually, 3
Is that when
years.
you guys gave us the ride from...
You got to be more
No, that's
specific.
when I text
what ride
Katie.
are you talking about?
That's what-
where were we at, like Timberwolf?
That's when they first
CrossFit?
propositioned us.
We were
At
at,
the summit in Seattle.
It was before. I mean, I think the summit was after that.
You had already signed up?
Yeah.
yeah.
What were we
We
there
had just
for
signed
now
up.
that I think about
It
It was
You
the
guys-
summit.
The swingers party.
It was the affiliate summit. It wasn't at Cody. It was Cody's gym.
Yeah, it was at Timberwolf.
Oh,
It was one of the very first
It
summits
was like
that
the very
CrossFit-
first one, yeah.
Right,
and there was
right,
like
right.
not hardly anybody
I don't
there.
even know. Oh yeah, we did present. We did a little Q&A at the end with JP.
Yeah.
But you guys
that's
then,
right.
you asked us to swing.
Yeah.
And
We stayed in that super creepy Airbnb.
Yeah.
It was comfortable. I was really comfortable. I was able to spread out.
we had the all-you-can-eat sushi, you and I. So anyway, you've been with us a long time.
Yeah.
But we do refer to you as the mayor, but you are actually a mayor.
But I am actually a mayor,
It
yes.
takes people they're like, oh, that's funny. Mayor Randy, and like, no, he's a real mayor.
He has a title.
When's your term up?
My term is up in 3 months.
And are you going to run again?
And I'm retiring from public service.
Could you run again? Like, is
I
there
could, yeah.
what's the term?
Term limits.
Are there
There's
term
not
limits in
term
Gresham?
limits. Nope. In
You could be-
Troutdale.
At Troutdale. Unlimited.
Remember the made-up town?
What are? Does the mayor get paid?
No.
It's a volunteer position.
Volunteer position.
As public service should be.
But it should be. But in bigger cities around us, they do get paid. They do get a salary.
How many hours a week you put in as a mayor?
A lot.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
probably...
not like a fluff thing. Like
No. It's probably about 30 hours, 25, 30 hours a week.
Of just volunteer work.
Yeah.
How long was the term?
4 years.
Wow.
And I've been on council for 8. So this is the end of an 8-year public service career.
Are people calling
Career.
for your retirement, or are they calling for you to stay?
They're actually out front of the house right now, and they're invading the home, taking it over, so hopefully we don't come back
They're
to the
squatting.
city. Yeah.
I mean, it's a Portland thing to do.
It is a very Portland thing to do.
But you're an old OG with us. You've been an ambassador.
Yep.
You're coming up on your term limit there as well.
Term limit there. Yep.
And
They
you're-
actually are asking me to step down from that
Yeah,
too.
that was a forced
So, yeah.
retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, yo, enough is enough.
No, him and Boucher and Kapu and Kara were the first
Yep.
Best Hour ambassadors.
Yeah, we just announced the new ones.
New set going out now.
Yeah.
went
Super
out
Still
last-
have
stoked.
so it
Bobby
went out-
DeVan in.
It went out last week.
We weren't supposed to talk about that, John.
Oh,
So
sorry.
a few things that we do want to talk about. We just had T1 on. We've had the Bouchers on. Another box owner that's left their job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 1 year
In January.
in January of being at the gym full time.
And how? I know when you were first retiring, Chausse was very nervous. Like, oh man, I see him a lot at home. I gotta see him at the gym now all
Most
the
people
time.
are like, I need help. Chausse is like, I'll do it on my own.
Yeah.
I'll go
She's
it
like,
alone.
no, you don't understand.
I got it.
I got
got
this.
it.
I got
it.
this all under control. We don't need you.
We want to talk about how
Everything is fine.
budgeting
Everything's
has helped.
burning in the back. It's fine.
It's fine. This is how we do things.
Budgeting is what helped you get there, but I do want to hear how it's been from that relationship perspective. You guys have been married, what, almost 10 years now?
Yeah, almost 7 years.
Yeah, we've been together since 2012.
And you
Funny
met-
story. We literally got together. We started loving each other 2 months before we opened the gym.
What is it like?
Huh.
Now I'm really sweaty.
What's it like on the day you started loving each
Yeah,
other?
what day? Was it a
Explain
very
this.
specific moment? Oh, I know what moment
There
it
was
was.
a
It was
Yeah,
definitely a moment for him.
I definitely love you.
It was actually an
Oddly, I've loved many
God
people in
damn
my
it.
life. Yeah.
I love you, son of a bitch.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that
mean to,
happened.
like that. Like, I was hoping that, like, I didn't mean to fall in love.
I did not mean to. And
Because you guys
then
are both previously married?
Yeah.
we are a part of failed marriages. Yes, thank you, Ackerman.
But
This
now
is
you-
our
but now
second
you've
Part
time
of
done
a
around.
successful
Yeah.
marriage.
Well,
As of right now,
yeah.
yes.
I
There's
mean,
still
that's
time.
always
There's-
like, yeah. I mean, because you'll text me. We'll talk.
We'll talk
A lot
later.
of private conversations.
It's been a good
with
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Been a good
but,
run.
But what was it like? Because I'm joking that there were nerves, but it is nerve wracking where it's like I'll see you in 8 hours versus now I see you all day.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I wasn't worried about it. I think he had a little bit more hesitation. And at the beginning of the year, it was a little
rocky.
It was a little rocky at the beginning of the year. There was multiple rocky things, but it was hard for him because it's a completely different way of working.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's part of it. I'm
It's-
not just like I'm
it's
going to see you all day.
Yeah,
but
it's completely different way of how to do work.
Well, I mean, if we go back 3 years and essentially, I'll give a quick story arc, right? So you guys hop on board. This is right post-COVID. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, this is terrible. You're buying out a partner.
Yeah.
And then fast forward like another 14 months, and you're like, we're at the mastermind. Randy's like, I want to quit my job in 4 years. I'm going to do that. We get to January. It's like, we're doing it now.
Yeah.
And now you're both there.
Yeah.
Right? And those are just the big, landmarks in the story,
Right.
but just to give like a full 36 months in one snapshot, that's many of and those are all big things.
It was a big deal, and a little bit more backstory context. I did construction, municipal work. I worked for the water department for 20 years. And so all I know is 6 a.m. till 4 p.m. I'm a ditch digger, digging holes in the street, laying water pipe. I know how to do that work really well. I know how to get dirty. I know how to go to work in jeans and steel-toe boots. I did not know how to turn it off and
you
go
went
to
blue
work.
collar to white collar, huh?
Yeah. And I didn't know how to turn it off to gym shorts and a t-shirt.
You did.
Well,
And
luckily,
Nikes.
there's plenty of shit that needs to get fixed at the box.
There
so
is.
You're like,
There is a lot. And so it was rocky in the beginning just because I didn't know. I identified so much with being a construction worker. And a
you're like, I
CrossFit
don't
coach.
know what to do.
Yeah,
I should
exactly.
be hammering something.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to
Exactly.
be busy for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Yeah.
so busy just turned into something different with regards to the affiliate. We both still did the job together, but when I was there full time, she had it all under control, and then throw me into the mix. I'm not going to say I'm the calm one, but I'm also not going to say that you're the calm one. But I come in.
Definitely
I wouldn't
not.
classify either one of you as
I
calm.
come in like the Tasmanian devil running in circles, like, what do I do? What do I do now? And trying to find my role in that ecosystem that I was only on the periphery as a coach. And
There's a specific thing I want to talk about with you on that, but what is something Randy came in and was immediately helpful, and what was something that Randy came in and you're like, dude,
And fucked
you
it
are
all up.
fucking this up. Yeah, because that happens.
I
Like,
would definitely say the social media and the marketing and getting our gear and our retail shop and all of that stuff. Like he was able to really dive in because he was doing it, but not
half-assed.
Well, not really. I mean, the stuff that you did was really good. It's just that you didn't have time to do very much of it, is what it was.
Yeah.
These are also things that, I've known you for a long time. You're like, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, I'm not
they're
doing
like
it.
more
Like, that's not
technical
my thing.
type
Like
stuff
that-
where you're like,
I
no,
mean,
I'm
I
not
just-
touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work that way anymore. So it's definitely things that he can help with on that, and that's huge. I would say the things that was a little bit struggling is just more of our communication together. I would ask him hey, am I going to see you at the gym today? Or mainly because I just wanted to know, am I coming back after class and we're going to do stuff, or are you coming to the gym and I'm going to see you there? And he took it from a totally different context of him not doing anything. And so
Well,
we
you
had
weren't.
some
This is
communication
this is what
issues
my
there.
wife would describe as a classic bad question.
Yeah.
Which is just ask your question. It's like, hey, you coming to the gym today? I'm like, what's the question?
Are you saying I'm
to
lazy?
work? Are you
Right.
going to work today?
Yeah.
Is what you're
Are you going to earn
Well,
your
I just
paycheck?
didn't-
But I think this is a really good Jay and I have been through this many times, and Marcus, which is like you have like an overarching question that's like that has 4 underlying questions, and you should just fast forward to the bottom question, which is like, hey, are we gonna leave the gym together today? And you're like, no. And you're like, great. But instead I was like, are you coming to the gym today? I was like, I don't know. Why? What do you need? And we were just like,
what am I not doing?
Mean? What do I like, why are you mad at me? You know?
Definitely.
That's literally what
happened. Yeah, it was literally that. And I just was like, am I coming home or am I seeing you at the gym?
This? I too have a spouse. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I get asked all the time, what gym software should a gym owner use? And the short answer is, I don't care. What I care about is that companies like PushPress design software that helps gym owners run better businesses. So if you're working with a software company, you're not happy, and you don't know what to do with the information that software gives you every single day, check out PushPress. They've got built-in systems like the 180-day journey that we helped them build inside of PushPress Grow that'll help you interact with your clients at a better clip in order to improve your retention. So if that's something you're interested, reach out to those guys at PushPress and help you run a better box today.
So what role did budgeting and being on top of your finances play in your ability to leave your full-time job?
Everything.
Every single thing that had to do with me getting out under the thumb of municipal work, construction work, had to do with us wrapping our heads, actually having to do with Chausse wrapping our head around our budget, both professionally and personally. We, like Fern said, we left
Denver.
We left Denver with a 4-year plan. And we came
emailed
home.
me 2 months later, and you're like, I think it's a year.
I think we have a year plan.
And it was like the next call.
No, it was about another month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, it was about a total
later.
of 4 months.
Yeah, but
before
I'm saying
just
it
like,
was expedited.
It's next month.
Yeah.
So it went from 4 years to 4 months.
Yeah, we had Chausse dialed everything in with the budget, with where we were at right then and there. Snapshot, boom. We know what's coming in. We know what needs to go out. We know what my income was bringing in, what her income was bringing in. We actually took a step back through the budget system and decided, okay, what we're going to do in September is literally take my paycheck from the city, put it in the account, in the savings account, because we have the budget lined up really well. And we're just going to see if we can ride this out for the next 3-4 months and see what happens with just taking my income and letting the gym cover all the expenses we have living our life and the business, obviously.
That's a good thought experiment or true experiment.
Well, and it turned into a 3-month savings
I didn't even tell him
program.
I was doing it. And I was like, it was like 2 months
didn't?
in. I didn't tell him.
Weird.
Right. But yeah, I didn't.
I'm so proud of you right now.
I didn't tell him that I was doing that.
That you withheld that from your husband.
Yeah.
You're like,
I didn't-
we're
I
gonna
didn't
live
tell him
on
for like 2 months.
So you lived off half of what you were.
Yeah.
He
Without
just
telling
didn't know
him.
because he doesn't really do any of the money stuff. I just do that.
I just spend.
He just
So
spends
did you
money.
then? Were you
like
the one
shirts.
that announced to him, like, "Hey, Randy, by
It was
the way"?
like 2 months. Yeah, because I started doing it in September, and I think that's November.
The end of
right?
October.
Yeah, I was like, so I've been doing this, and I think we can do this.
Well, let's go
definitely
back a
think
little
we
bit
can
more
do this.
context, right? So your hot seat question at Denver was like, hey, I want to do this.
Yeah.
We think it's 4 years. At
Yeah.
which point everybody's just like, what do you, like, how much money do you make? What are you doing? What's your budget look like? And you know, and not shockingly to anybody who's ever sat in a hot seat, you typically don't have the answers to those
Right.
questions, right? So the homework becomes, hey, you guys need to do 2 things. We need to get the gym budget tight, and we need to get your home budget tight. And then we can pair those 2 things together. And that's when that went from like 4 years to 1 year to like next month.
Yeah.
But the beauty of the way that we teach that is you can do those experiments without actually messing with any of your operating expenses. And you can be like, hey, does this work? And you're like, oh shit, it works. Like, you do it again the next month, you're like, still works. Do it again the next month, you're like, still working. And like, probably works at this point.
I definitely knew that if we could do it in those months, November, December, if we could do it there, because it's usually the slowest times. I'm like, if we can do it here, then
We can do it
we got
throughout the whole entire year
We
for
got
the
it.
rest of our life.
Let me ask you something, because you typically don't like spreadsheets and stuff. Well, like, you don't like the details typically.
Yeah.
You're like, you like to do. So why do you like the budget? You realize what I'm asking
love,
that, right?
I totally understand why you're asking that, because I don't like doing. It almost feels like it's checklists for me.
Got it.
It's already there. No, I don't have to figure out the checklist. The checklist is there for me.
Got it.
Like, it's there, and I'm going to put it into the right spot.
Okay.
And I love that.
You do it
I
every
work
day?
really,
The white
Yeah.
dots.
yeah. I go
buddy.
through. I love it. It's fantastic. I probably do it too much. I like them on there all the time, and I'm like,
I never
okay, I
close the
probably
tab,
shouldn't
ever.
go in here.
No, I
No,
keep
I
mine
don't
on
either.
my
Well, to be fair,
That's
she
all
never
the time.
closes any of her tabs, but that's a
That's
whole
true. I have
nother
a lot.
podcast.
I have
You're
a-
like my wife.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Yeah.
She
I
has
have a
now.
lot,
She has
but that's
Google
one of
and
them that-
Safari with 12.
Oh yeah, I do. I
24.
have Google and Safari open.
I don't. I think we were somewhere together, and she opened up her phone. Like, let's just see how many things you
Ready,
have.
go.
Oh, it was thousands. I
Yeah, it's horrible.
was like, how's your phone not exploding
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah,
I
it's,
shut everything down every
I think
time.
one of
Oh, I don't.
so do I. I think one of the reasons why she can dive into and enjoys doing it, I think it helps with her after having her stroke. It gives her an exercise for her brain to do every single day. And I mean, it's like going to the gym and getting your workout in.
Yeah.
Right? You do that for your health. You do that for your well-being every single day. I think that helps her organize and stretch those muscles up inside there that are affected. And I
What's
think
weird
it
about
gives her
that
an
is if there's 12 tabs open, I have a stroke.
My brain goes dead too.
Yeah,
It's weird.
It just shuts down. I have a stroke. I told Roz, I was like, the spoon thing, that's not real. Don't put a spoon in my mouth. Or a cookie. How long ago did you have a stroke?
in 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what did that really shift your ability to do some work?
Yeah, still
It
does.
shifted everything.
Like, I have
I know we've
major
talked about
issues
it,
with
but I don't even have a good question. Like, how bad of a stroke are we talking about?
Are there levels?
I
of
had-
there are. There's levels, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have, all of it was cognitive. So it
Okay.
was all like reading, writing, like
Comprehension.
What
and
happened? Like,
speaking.
did you just like, what happened? Like, what physically happened?
I couldn't talk. I couldn't.
And were you like, oh, this is
I couldn't
great.
talk.
I like this.
Yeah.
I was like, Roz, I'd be like, Roz, I
is
like you like
amazing.
this. She's like, I'm having
She can't say nothing. This is
going.
awesome.
Keep doing it.
This
Yeah.
is, I'm not going to do anything. Yeah, I couldn't. I started with I just didn't understand things. I couldn't get onto my computer. I couldn't. Everything, the TV was on. I remember there's some things that I just, most of it I don't remember. Like most of the stuff is from hearing from other people, but I was at home by myself. And I was supposed to be posting something about the gym. I couldn't get onto my computer. I couldn't. I was like my hands are going to just magically gonna go to open my password, and I couldn't figure it out. I knew it had something to do with the gym, and I knew that I had a gym, but then it just started just getting worse and worse and worse. Like it was almost like Charlie Brown, like brr, brr, like that's
Yeah.
what the TV
Oh.
started. Everything like closed down. I called my mom,
Who lives in Utah, by the way.
Now I might have questions on like how you were able to call your mom. Like, how were you like?
Yeah.
Well, that must be
it
like
was
so
still
ingrained.
towards I just knew there were certain things like that I could always just I knew Wodify. I could get onto Wodify, which was a weird thing, but I could get on
God,
Wodify.
of all the things you want to keep, you're
I
like,
literally-
That's a
I could
great
get onto
marketing
Wodify,
strategy,
but I
though.
didn't-
Even in a stroke,
I could,
Wodify
I
is
could
there
get onto
to help your
Wodify on
affiliate.
my phone. Like I knew that
So
at the
simple.
beginning.
You could
So
use it
simple.
while
Yeah,
having a
like
stroke.
I
even do it while
literally
having a stroke.
could click on that. But then I didn't know what to do with it. Like I knew that was something with work, and I knew I could get onto that. So it was one thing that I knew, and I called my mom, and all I said with her was just like, I don't know the words. I don't know the words. She called my Randy, and he called me, and he immediately go to the bathroom and look at my face, and I'm like,
She just kept
I was like,
saying-
it's not my face. I just don't know the words.
Yeah,
But
she
it was
just kept
like
saying
half
it.
your face.
No, it
even
wasn't.
like.
It wasn't a physical. It's called a trans-ischemic attack, and so it went straight up into basically the cognitive part of her brain. It wasn't the physical part. It was just right up. The blockage went right up there, and just shut down all comprehension, speaking. The only thing she could, even though she said like, I don't need to go to the mirror.
Yeah.
I just don't know the words. She just kept saying, I don't know the words. I don't know the words. That's it, constantly.
Got it.
And so I was stuck at work. That was actually, anyways, that's a whole nother tangent. But I was stuck at work and couldn't leave. My boss was like, you're not fucking leaving. If you leave, you're gonna get fired. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So
You were like, my wife is having
Yeah.
a stroke, and he was
it's
like,
a long story. It is a long
that's when you're
story.
like, one, I'm gonna tell her I love her. This is
Yeah,
the moment.
yeah.
Two, I'm going into, I'm gonna be the mayor of
That's
this town.
actually when
Yeah.
he
I'm gonna be
did.
the mayor
I
of this town
asked me
one
to
day.
marry him when I had a stroke. That's when he asked
That
me.
was when I figured I could get her cornered.
Yeah, like, hey, she's not
Health
understanding her
insurance.
words. Yeah.
You're like, hold up your hand. Whoosh, got
on
it.
there.
Hey, I know,
done.
I know you don't remember, but it was great.
It's
We had a great
fine.
time. Yeah.
You
It's done.
totally
Yeah.
agreed to doing this.
I don't know why, but you recommended we get a prenup, so I signed it. It was fine.
Weird.
How long did it take to recover?
So fast forward about an hour, we got to the hospital, to the emergency room, and I almost fucking punched a doctor right in his mouth. All they kept saying, and granted, we're in Portland, okay? So all he kept saying was, come on, you took something. What'd you take?
Oh.
Heroin, speed, meth. Come on.
Right.
You smoked a cigarette. What did you smoke?
What was
Something.
it? What drugs did you do?
It was mushrooms. It was mushrooms.
That's what it came.
And I'm like, I literally almost jumped up and strangled this doctor in the room of doctors. And finally, one of his, I don't know what they call them.
Attending,
interns,
probably.
someone
He's
walked
probably
by.
a resident.
Yeah,
walked by and
resident.
said,
Yeah.
maybe she had a stroke. Let's take her to go and,
Yeah.
you know.
And this was not even this was like
This was not even the doctor.
someone in school, essentially.
And so we found out there's a shot, TPA, and I don't remember what it stands for, but it's basically a mega clot buster.
Oh,
and they
okay.
give it to you, and there's a window of opportunity, 0 to 4 hours. And each 15-minute increment, the stroke severity gets worse and worse and worse, and the long-term effects get worse and worse and worse until we're going to give it to you, but there's nothing we can do right now.
Yeah, it's not.
She got it probably 3.5 hours after she had her stroke because of the emergency room, because of everything that happened before that. Gave her the shot, and within about 20 minutes, all the effects started going away.
That's wild.
And don't get me wrong, it lasted for days, hours in the beginning.
I was in there
before she
for-
could start speaking her words again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was
is
in there
the-
for a long time.
Is
Yeah.
the worst side effect the fact that you married Randy?
Well, I mean,
It's long.
now
It's
I'm
long.
stuck.
I mean, look at the ring.
Like,
it's
I'm
plastic.
literally-
Come on. Come on.
I mean, seriously.
So you're budgeting well. You get to leave
back
the
to
box.
budgeting
Yeah.
now?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
We're done with that.
Interesting tangent. The,
Catastrophe.
no,
over.
because we knew
Yeah.
about it. I think you
Yeah.
had neck surgery earlier this
Yeah.
year, was it?
Yeah, earlier this year.
That was unrelated.
No,
Unrelated.
yeah.
I do want to talk. So I think you and I have spoken. You know, we talked earlier about simplicity and a few things. And what was it? If you remember when he started talking about the Olympic lifting?
Olympic lifting.
He wanted to do the weightlifting club.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, that.
This
yeah.
was one of my
That-
truly in all the coaching we've done in affiliate 800, 900 affiliates. This was one of my favorite coaching. It was because I felt like it was me leveling up as a coach too.
You're welcome.
So this guy.
So
Sometimes
glad
you
we
need
can
those
do that for you.
challenges.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's an important lesson for everyone, right? Randy comes on. It must have been a small group call. Hey, we want to do a weightlifting club.
And it was a loose we.
Well, and that's what I immediately.
It was definitely Randy wanted to do. I mean, he's been wanting to do it for many
For a long
many.
time.
But that's what I immediately picked up on.
Yeah.
I was like watching her.
Everybody wants this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
you know who doesn't? Your wife.
Yeah.
And we just kind of worked through it. It was like an evolution of like probably 6 weeks in total, maybe
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
But just figuring out why he wanted to do it, putting the plan together. And it was at one of those points where I was like, I don't think Chausse wants it, not because it's weightlifting, but it's like you're going to spend less time together.
Well, that,
It
and
was that,
who's
and we
going to
had
do it?
Yeah, who's gonna do
Well,
it?
that-
You know,
And it
we
was going to
had-
be me.
He was quantifying. He was like, this is like 3 hours.
Oh, it's
I
definitely
was
not.
like, dude, if you go to
Dude,
a
I wrote
meet-
a time frame. I wrote a timeline. I wrote a mission, vision, values for it. I wrote
everything.
up this whole
And I was
business
like,
plan.
You're like, you're
I was
10
like,
hours
we're-
into this.
I'm like, well, this is
You're like,
way
you're-
too much
you're
already.
Like, you're
No,
10
but-
hours into this, and we haven't even done it.
It was
Yeah.
just like,
It's-
and it was like classic affiliate owner. Like
Yeah.
every estimation was like, well, let's go the low end.
Yeah.
Like not realistic end, not high end, but like
This is what
best case scenario.
This is what I talked about yesterday.
Yeah, it was literally, and I was
Trust
like,
me. Just so you know, we too are also in a lawsuit right now.
With
oh,
got it.
another
Yeah, yeah.
whole other thing.
Okay, got it.
But anyways,
That whole other thing.
Yeah, yeah.
quadrant 1, we definitely have been in there multiple
And
times.
jumped into 4 and
No, that
came
was
back.
that was 1.
Well, for context, right? So one of the talks I gave yesterday is essentially how do you assess risk in business endeavors, and going over something called the Ansof's matrix, and outlining that. And here's what was funny for me yesterday, giving that. Like as I'm outlining, I'm also canvassing the crowd and
Like
watching.
going, God.
Everybody's like, "Fuck."
Oh man, we're in there.
Yeah, fuck. And people are like, oh, I'm doing that. And I'm like, oh, man, right?
That's me.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And then I forget the lady in the back. She's like, so I'm in quadrant 4. I'm clearly not supposed to be there.
This is all bad.
Not even
How
sure
do
how
I-
I got
I'm
here.
looking around. There's no one else there.
How do I get out of it? You know?
I'm
And
the
like,
only one in this room.
Right. So
But I want to go back to it. Because this is an important lesson for affiliate owners. Hey, there are things you might want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk me through how you would think after we would speak about it, like what the process was. Like, I want to do this, to I'm actually not going to, and I'm happy that I'm not doing it.
Well, for me, it came down to, and again, I mean, part of me knew that it wasn't a good idea. I mean, let's be honest there, that even though I came to you guys and was like, hey, I want to do this, I knew it wasn't going to be a great idea.
But it'll be fun.
But it'll be fun,
Right.
and everybody
And
wants
And
to do
there's
it.
It'll
people,
keep
there's like 5
us-
people that want
Right.
to do it.
It'll keep a select few members happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it comes down for us, it came down to who's going to do it? Well, it was going to be me. Well, then everything that I already do for the affiliate, who's going to do that? Well, it's going to fall under her or me, and then I'm just going to be
Or
doubling
those
up and
things are not going to
half-assing
be
two
happening
things.
at
Yeah.
all. It was just like, we had multiple conversations, but I'm like, we haven't even done the things that we're supposed to be doing right now well yet. We're not there yet. Like, we still
Quadrant
have to.
3.
Yes. I'm like, yes, all day. I'm like, we're not there yet. Like,
Yeah.
and adding another thing, and then I go, now
She's getting sweaty
you're doing
now.
this. I am. I'm getting
This
really
is-
sweaty.
Well, this is what it would be
Or
like
I'm
on
getting-
the calls.
but
I would
it would
see
just
this,
be like
and
this.
he'd be like sitting like just in front of her, so he couldn't see her.
He's doing
and
it now.
I'm like watching Chausse. I'm like, she does not want to do this.
I don't want to do any
And I
of
also
it.
knew
We're
like,
not there yet.
no matter how well planned he was going to be, without your support,
It was
not
wasn't
just
gonna
not
It was
just
gonna
as a
be friction.
husband
It was
wife,
gonna be
but
friction.
like you're the owner of the box. Like, you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, and you're doing this every Saturday.
Yeah.
Now, every Saturday we're there. I go, we like to go do things and travel. And
Right.
now who's doing it? And then when we're gone, it's just like, now no one's doing it, or who's taking over and doing that. It
Well,
was-
here's a
it
question
was
I
just a
haven't
mess.
asked you since. In your mind, you had like maybe 5 people that really wanted it, and the concern is, well, if we don't do it, they're going to do it elsewhere.
Right.
So call it 5. How many would you say? Is that
I
accurate?
think it was about 5.
How many of them are still there?
All of them.
And none,
that was the main
and
catalyst
none
for
of
you
them
wanting
have
to
said
do it.
anything about
Yes, they have.
not to
But
me.
that's okay.
Oh, they said it to you?
But saying it and still showing up is not
Yeah.
a bad thing.
So I want to highlight something here. So the assumption, right? So if we take this exact scenario, and I want to highlight the leap that most affiliate owners will make. We're like, somebody likes weightlifting, start a program.
Yeah.
Without understanding, they're like, that I went from nothing to everything without considering every possible scenario in between those two
And
things.
in fairness
Right.
to Randy, that's what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
But
at least
I want to
work through
highlight that for
yeah.
everybody, which is like, hey, somebody wants it, we have to start a program. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and the reality is, again, having worked with hundreds of gyms, having owned my gym for 16 years, what I have come to realize, and I've done this many times, is that you do not have to fulfill on the whole thing. All you have to do is allow them to scratch the itch and do simple things like, hey, they want a weightlifting program, like, let's do some sort of weightlifting challenge or bias this month. They get to scratch the itch, they're fine, but I don't have to throw everything that we're doing out the window
Right.
or spin up an entire new thing
Yeah.
in order to satisfy what this person has told me. There is almost always something that is in the middle that is much closer to just doing what I'm already doing that will satisfy that customer. And be very cautious of making the leap all the way over, like, we have to spin up a whole new thing. You
Right.
don't. You
It's
just
also
don't.
not a no forever, right? You might
Right.
come back in January and say, we've hired someone to do this, or we
Right.
put somebody in play, or this now makes sense.
Or a pivot
Right.
into personal training, strength training,
Yeah.
personal
Right.
training,
Yeah.
Or you're getting
programming.
paid a fair value.
Yeah.
Because that was part of it. It was like, you're going to make $0 or minimal hourly wage.
Yeah.
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 Affiliate owners, if you want to grow revenue, what you need to understand is impact first. Offering the best classes and changing people's lives is how you get the revenue that you are searching for inside of the affiliate. And that starts with running fantastic classes here inside of the box. If that is something that you are looking for, we've got world-class coaches that are going to help you do that and help you run a better box. Everything from the coaching on the floor to the systems on the back end, we're going to cover it all. Book a call. We'll see you guys on the inside.
So now that you both are working on the affiliate, madly in love, there's no weightlifting program. What's next in Gresham?
Doing the thing better.
Doing
The
less
better.
What are some of the things you know you're currently doing that you can do better?
Probably everything.
Everything.
For sure,
Really-
I think that's
really
a broad
everything.
statement. But like, do you have a few things in mind that you're like, when we get back, we're dialing in ambassadors, or
Our ambassador program is pretty dialed in. We've been doing that for a long time. Since before we were with you
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
we've been doing an
You had like
ambassador
a
program.
variation of it, I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we have that pretty dialed in. Obviously, we're still working to make that as meaningful for not only the gym, the members, but the ambassadors as well. But I think what we're really focusing on right now is just dialing up and bringing up our coaching, bringing our coaches along and getting our coaches invested in coach development and continuing to help level them up.
That's what he's really been working on, and we have in our internship and stuff like that. I am working a little bit more on like systems that I only do, like onboarding people, doing tours or consultations, stuff like that. I've been the only one that have done that, and I've never had a process because I just do it, and I've done it for a long time, and I enjoy it. But like when we're gone like this, I was like, oh crap. Well, actually, it happened when we went to Europe, and we had 2 people that wanted to do tours, and I wasn't there, and
yeah, you guys
I
were
was like, oh
3
crap,
weeks.
what am I going to do now? There was not a process for someone to step in and to be able to do that and be like, this is how you do it, or whatever. So I actually did that before we left to dial that in. So when we left this time, we actually had a couple
This
tours.
is- this
so it
happened-
was
And a
like
couple of
stuff like
signups.
that,
So we've-
and signups. Yeah,
And
we
you were
here.
gone for what, 3 weeks recently?
It was 2.5.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah,
in
you
Europe.
were gone for a while. Yeah, we've had 5 this week at the gym. This happens a lot, which is the gym owner like, would I like to do that? And I'm like, that wasn't the question. It wasn't
Right.
even the point, which is like, you might like to do it. At some point, you either not like to do it, or just won't want to do it, or just not be able to do it.
Yeah.
So your best bet in all of those scenarios is like, well, while you're here, still liking to do it, create some infrastructure underneath it so it's not reliant on you. And then you can, what will happen if you do it that way is you will end up doing, if we fast forward and we zoom way out and we make the timeline significantly longer, right? Just like, hey, I'm looking at this on a 1-year timeline. And say, look at it on a 10-year timeline.
Yep.
You'll probably still be doing some portion of that in 10 years because the thing is not reliant on you. So you get to engage with it on your own terms.
Yeah.
Not because you have to. I'm the
Right.
only one.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So build that in when things are good. Build that thing when you're at your highest RPMs. That is when you should start building in underneath you.
Yeah.
Because you know it the best.
Right.
You know.
That
well,
was
and I
our-
don't think I would have ever even thought of doing something like that unless we were in this program. Like, we would not, it wouldn't have ever even I never even wouldn't have thought it. Randy's going to talk
Are you
now.
having a stroke on
She's
the
gonna
air?
cry. She's gonna
Randy's
start
crying.
talking.
She's
gonna
It's
start
happening.
crying.
Get her
Yeah.
that TBA
Randy's
shot.
going to talk now. But I mean, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
I love you.
Thank you for telling me now
I'm right
before I'm
here.
like down on the
Marry
ground.
me. Will you marry me?
Well, what I was gonna say is the funny thing you bring out that grander picture is that was our hot seat question
Right.
In
at
January.
Nashville was how do we create legacy? How do we create legacy in our community, in our gym, in our business, so that when we're ready to 10, 15, whatever the number is, down the
Exit.
road, exit, how do we make it so this thing that we've built, this business that we've built, can continue on after we've decided that we're done with it, right? And I'm not putting a number on it. Chausse gets freaked out. She's like, well, what the hell am I going to do out in 10 years? This is the only thing I know how to do.
Go hiking.
Well, I'm not,
Yeah.
well, and
Oh,
I'm
no
not
one
going
gets
to do
paid
it
for hiking.
until
Right,
like
right.
there's like
I think it's
Not
time
yet.
to
Yeah.
a process, you
some
know.
fresh kids coming into
Oh,
the mix.
gosh,
you guys
are you
got
kidding
some
me?
older
That's actually
kids.
a good idea. We
Oh.
should
Have more kids.
we should
Oh, that's
probably start
probably
thinking
You
about
got
having
like
children.
20-year-olds now, right?
Yeah.
You're-
I would literally be the oldest person in the world to be pregnant, I think.
But that's the but that's the whole thing is trying to figure out how we can create this business into something where we can offload it, that it runs automatic. It doesn't need us to continue on to be what it needs to be for the future members, for the members now and the future members.
We are hard at work at that, and you'll want to be at the, I know you skipped the last mastermind.
Which we were very offended by.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons why we're here, so important here.
Yeah, but we'll see you in Orlando.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've seen you've been on a couple calls where we've talked
Yeah.
about it, but we got some big things coming as far as
But I-
evaluation and all that.
Yeah, but the other thing is, one of the things that you guys have been adamant about is like, hey, we're going to continue to, like, you guys, the Bouchers, there's certain people that lean into coaching really hard. And that is very much the bucket that you guys are in.
Yeah.
Which is like, no matter how much better things get, you're always just like, tell me what else? Like, what's the next thing? How can I make this better? What else should we be thinking about? And I think that speaks volumes to you getting to the end state that you're looking for. Because I have never interacted with you guys who are like, no, we're good. I don't think we need help anymore. Like, we're fine. But that happens.
A lot of people.
Right?
Well, it was funny because in the very beginning, I was so against signing up for this.
Really?
I was. And it wasn't because of you two. And it wasn't because of
because of
anything
him.
else. It was just no, it was Katie. I fucking hate Katie.
We get that a lot.
We get that a lot. Yeah.
I'm so happy Lee's
Katie.
here. Let's just be honest. No, it was because I was in the camp of, I don't need help. I don't need someone telling me what to do. I know what the fuck to do. I don't need someone that I don't
You
know that
realize
doesn't
how
know
where
where.
he would be without us?
I'm the mayor.
He'd
Yeah,
still be
listen.
digging water holes. His wife be on the ground having a stroke.
But I'll
He'd
be
coaching weightlifting.
I mean,
Yeah.
and really quick, our story is similar to the Boucher's, to Mid-State's story, that
Yep.
when Chausse has always been the owner. She's always, since day one, and I've always been a coach since day one. We bought out our business partner in
Yep.
2019. I quit my job in 2019, on November of 2019. And then, 4 months later,
back.
we all know what happened. Then I went right
yeah.
back to work because the world was upside down and we needed a steady income. So this would probably not exist without this.
And that's why tonight
We're going to
we're
meet up.
gonna meet
That's
up.
why Randy's
We're
going to
gonna
go. We're
meet
going to
up.
send Randy to
Chausse,
get ribs.
You stay back. No, Chausse, you stay back. The three of us are gonna meet up.
Oh god.
It's happening. It's finally happening.
This is it.
No, let me ask you one last question. And you've alluded to it, but why do you stick around? You're one of our longest term clients, 3+ years now.
We
What-
stick around because we get value. We get value from you guys. It's the value that Affiliate University and Best Hour delivers to their members, to their clients, has not stopped. And so it's only grown and continued on top of itself. You guys are setting the building blocks. You're giving us the building blocks. We're stacking them. We're going to go as high as we can as long as you guys will have us as members.
That's gonna.
Well, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
It's today.
We're done.
Today's what we're
We're
done.
done.
It's not me.
There's no more
it's
building
you.
blocks. Yeah.
We're breaking up.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that
We'll open the van doors. I'm sorry.
Here it is. It's one of those things that even like with CrossFit. So when happened with CrossFit with Greg a long time ago, I was looking for something that was
Telling us it was okay to be CrossFit.
that it was that's I was looking for that, and that's when I found your guys' podcast was that, and I'm like, these are the people that are all in with CrossFit. They love CrossFit. They are me. I need them. And so I kept sending to him the podcast. You need to listen to this. You need to listen to this. And
It's
then
like,
when
these guys sound like idiots.
I'm like, no. I'm like, Fern, this guy on there named Fern, he says exactly the same things that you say all the time to me, which is really annoying.
Basically
But
the
you
same
need to listen to it. And then one day I just called him and I was like, so I did this thing.
You signed up without him? Was he
No,
telling?
but I
called
booked
to
the
set up
call
the-
with Katie.
Oh, okay.
I did this thing, and now we have this call,
We have
and
a call that you have to be on.
And we talked with Katie, and it was pretty much then.
Yeah, I mean,
After
we
that,
knew
but
we were
it's
going to
one
sign
of-
up before we
But
talked
it's
to
one of
Katie,
those
just so you know.
things that when,
Katie
like
didn't
even
derail
with,
you.
yeah, when I knew that CrossFit was something that was so important to me in my life, and that I wouldn't be where I'm at with CrossFit, especially with my
Without
stroke
CrossFit,
and all
right.
of that stuff. Like CrossFit was, I needed it, and it was important. This is the same. I feel the same thing with Best Hour and Affiliate U. I need it. So
To be clear, this isn't the stroke talking.
no, it's not.
That was
It's
real.
something. It's something that it's important to me to keep with the things that I love.
People are walking
I can't
by
do
and-
it. I know. I'm
I
not
know,
crying.
and
All
you're
these
like,
people
Jesus,
are saying,
don't
"What's
go
wrong
to
with
that
that
thing."
girl?
If you want to see
What are they doing
Chausse
to her?"
cry more, go to our Instagram. She's one of the pinned posts up
Definitely
there
crying
crying.
in there, yeah.
But hey, give us a hug. we love you
I'm
guys.
bringing it.
Yeah,
Bring
you
it
can
on.
hug.
We'll
love
hug
you
this way.
guys.
I'm very
Don't let go.
sweaty.
Yeah, you
Don't let go.
are
Don't ever let
I
go.
told you it was so
So
crying.
much sweat.
Oh,
yeah.
bring it in.
Wow.
But yeah,
No, it's candidly, this is no secret. Jay and I have never been shy about that. Everything that happens, one thing that he and I and Marcus and the team are fully aligned on is like the affiliates. Like everything comes
right behind us on this wall.
Everything comes back to that is the affiliates. Like we know what happens inside of the affiliate. We know that the affiliate owners are the most important thing, and no matter what happens, we're going to continue to try to help all of those people because I'm still an affiliate owner. Like I don't have any plans to change
As am I.
Kind of.
Yeah, not really. And that's what we wanted to build, right? We wanted to build that ecosystem that was for affiliate owners, which is like, it felt right? It was built, by somebody who like understands, how those people feel and what they're all trying to do and have a similar journey. And it's like our most important thing. It's like our number one core value is like affiliates first. Like if it's not value to the affiliates, like don't fucking talk to me about it. I don't care. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and we get offers 5 times a week about, you used to do this. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, so thank you guys for being who you are.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for letting us be who we are. And
you
hang
should have a
out.
letter in the mail, cease and desist.
Yeah, for your
Bobby
bike.
Vans.
Yeah, for the
Bobby the Vans.
Please.
Yeah.
That needs
I know you already have a lawsuit, but there's another one inbound. So yeah.
Quadrant 5.
Two lawsuits.
Oh man.
But if you guys are in the Gresham area and you want to file a complaint with the city,
That's Troutville.
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 Trouttown.
Trouttown.
That's
Troutland.
okay.
Yeah.
Going down to
Trouttown.
Troutown.
Fishville.
Fishville. But if you guys are in the greater Portland area, go by the box. Great box. Really cool vibe in there. Got some old school. It's got a very, early CrossFit Day vibe. You guys repurposed and kept a lot of the graffiti drawings in there, which I think is really important, and I'm glad we kept it when we
it's
did
part
the
of it.
expansion.
Yeah.
That's part of
It's
us.
gritty.
Yeah. So
It's gritty. Exactly. Yeah.
But it's clean.
But it's clean. It's very clean.
It's clean.
yeah. So good people
Thank you.
doing good things. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.